you look at the 120 million unique people that we now have amongst our 3 different sites that we've purchased, the apps that we've purchased, in addition to the own product we launched last week at Under Armour Record, there's 120 million unique users that logged 100 million exercises and workouts in January alone. And you just think about the sheer scale of that number. So now we know, and we have information that tells us who the most active people are. And what we can see is what we can do to make better product, to actually make their lives easier.
And can you push product to them? I mean, do you see this ultimately as a way? You know, I use MyFitnessPal. You're right on there, by the way, on the first thing now. And I use the Jawbone on my wrist. I use the Fitbit scale at home. It's all, and it all goes into this thing.
Yes, you are our wheelhouse. We will like.
But my question is, and I wear an Under Armour shirt, but I might wear Nike sneakers. So the question is, how are you going to? Can you use all of this to somehow get me into Under Armour sneakers? Yeah,
well, I think we can change that. And so, you know, the idea is that is what we need to do is the thing about that I loved about the platforms, that they were all completely open, completely agnostic. And so, you know, you'll hear about, you know, the new Apple Watch that comes out. It is iOS only. You know, S Health with Samsung is Android only. The thing about us is that we work with over 400 different devices. So no matter what you use, you can plug into one of our apps. And so MyFitnessPal is an open platform as well. And of that, I mean, just thinking, again, back to numbers, our job is to give you a place where no matter what, if you weigh yourself every morning, and do you?
I do.
And so where do you track that?
That goes into the MyFitness thing.
So if you have your scale that feeds
through Fitbit, Wi-Fi into the air, into the cloud, into the MyFitness.
Exactly. So ultimately what we want to do is we want to create a basic platform that's easy, where we're going to give you your daily dashboard, where you look in the same way that you check your text, you check your email, you check your bank balance. Like, why don't you check your health? The most valuable thing in your life, and no one checks it. I mean, think about it. You guys were talking about, you know, health and colds. How many days were you sick last year? You got to call HR to find out. Exactly. Right? And then you look back and say, how are you not just anticipating when you get a cold? I usually get a cold every time this part of year. And you're saying, well, how do we know that emphatically? And why don't we have data that supports it? So what we think we can do is that, frankly, put in the smartest people in the world. You know, I've got Robin Thurston, who we purchased from MyFitness December of 13. And that really led, and Robin helped us get to the answer of saying, we saw this opportunity, we saw this white space. And
do you imagine having hardware built into the clothing, too, though? I mean, do you think you become a hardware company in software, if you will? I mean,
so if you think in 10 years from now, we're going to be walking around with these, you know, 3-inch by 5-inch pieces of hard glass that sit in our back pocket? No, absolutely not. Is that I think wearables will equal apparel someday. And what ultimately led us to this was this commercial that we ran called Future Girl that we made 2 or 3 years ago. And it's this woman waking up in the future, and you see her pull this monochromatic outfit on. She puts it on, and you see her doing yoga in the morning. And then she decides to go for a run. And with the swipe of her wrist, she changes the color of her top. She changes the color of her bottom. She changes the color of her shoes. And then she adjusts the thermostat that exists that controls the microclimate that lives between her skin and her apparel. And you're going, why are we heating this entire studio? Why aren't we just heating ourselves? You're colder than Joe is every day of the week. And so it's that same, you know, I think approach where we can be more specified. So yeah, I think wearables are something where the one thing is certain is that from estimates in 2009, there were 1 billion connected things in the world. The estimates are somewhere by 2020, it'll be 25 to 50 billion things. So effectively, everything's going to have a chip in it. And so your wearable device won't be this hard thing on your wrist or in your pocket. It'll be a part of you.